And lastly, last story of the day is with AMC stock. So right now, AMC stock has been making some major moves over the last couple of days and last couple of weeks. If we look at the 6-month chart, first of all, it's crazy. Up 2,111%. That's created so many millionaires. It has lost hedge funds billions of dollars, over $6 billion in the last 6 months. And there actually are a couple of major catalysts that are just coming out for Tesla. So right now, if we look at the chart, first of all, with the chart, we are seeing that we reached a record high of about $72 per share. That was during the day, like during trading hours. The highest close that we have seen for AMC was at $62.55 per share. After that, we saw it consolidate a bit, and now we are starting to touch that same $60 per share high. If we could break through that, I think we'd be off and running to reach new record highs, especially as institutions continue and hedge funds continue to lose more and more money, and they may be forced into actually having to cover their positions. But the big thing that has come out with AMC recently is that hedge funds have lost over $2 billion in the month of June 2021 alone. They lost over $512 million in a single day, and it doesn't look like things are slowing down anytime soon. In addition to this, with the numbers, right now the short volume ratio for AMC is at 21%, and this has actually increased from where we saw it just a couple of days ago. A couple of trading days ago, it was at 19% short volume ratio, and now it's increased, which means short sellers are continuing to add to their positions. But the one thing you got to remember with this is that this is the number that's reported. There's probably, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of shares that are being shorted that are not even being reported. This has to do with, everything going on with the dark pools. This has to do with everything going on with information just not being reported by exchanges. This is all that's being reported by exchanges. This doesn't take into account synthetic shares, dark pools, any of those other things that people have been talking about. This does not take into account. So I would say that the short volume ratio is probably much higher than what this is. It says 21%. I would not be surprised if it's closer to 50% based on synthetic shares and what is going on. So people who are saying AMC stock already experienced a short squeeze. It has already run up from $2 a share up to $60, so it can't go up any higher. I think they're definitely wrong. I think they're completely 100% wrong, because am I bullish on AMC based on their fundamentals? No. No, AMC is not worth what it currently is if you look only at the fundamentals. But that's not what we're talking about. Right now, I think AMC stock price easily could, double, triple its value simply because of the short volume ratio and what is going on with hedge funds continuing to bet against AMC. They only could keep hemorrhaging money for so long. And at some point, they're going to have to cover their positions. And as soon as that happens, it's going to cause the price to increase dramatically. So for everyone who asks me, should I buy in now? Should I try and time the dip? It's like, we don't know when hedge funds are going to cover their positions, if they ever do. But the thing is if you're bullish on AMC, you like being part of the movement, part of the community, the best thing to do is not try and time all the dips. The best thing to do is just hold, stay in, because what's going to happen is short sellers are going to cover their positions. You're not going to know when it happens, and that's going to be the day that you see 200% increase. And if you want to be part of this movement, you're going to miss it. You're going to see that massive rally that one day, and you're going to miss it. It's happened time and time again. So if you're bullish on it and you want to be a part of the movement, in my opinion, the best thing to do is just hold it, because there's no way of predicting when short sellers are going to cover their position. All we know is that they can't lose money forever, and at some point they're going to have to cover their position. And other thing going on which really no one is talking about with AMC is that foot traffic, something with the actual company, is increasing. So everyone says foot traffic isn't important. Who cares about this data when we're talking about AMC stock? Because right now, all that matters is hedge funds, short interest, and retail investors. And yeah, I get that. But any positive news is good for the AMC community. Any positive news coming out with AMC, whether it's about short interest, hedge funds, retail investors, the stock, the actual company, I think is something that should be spoken about and something that is good for the stock. So right now what we're seeing is foot traffic has increased dramatically. And during the 4th week of May, we saw a 79% increase week over week for foot traffic. The week after that, the 1st week of June, we saw a 159% increase in foot traffic week over week. So from the 3rd to 4th week of May, we saw a 79% increase. And then from the 4th week of May to the 1st week of June, we saw another 159% increase. So yes, we are still very far below levels we saw back in 2019 before the pandemic. But the key thing here is that we are seeing things steadily progress. AMC has more cash on their balance sheet than any other movie theater chain, and they're in a great position. Yes, they're going to be losing money because people are just not going to movie theaters as much. But they are in such a great position because even with them losing money every quarter for the next couple of years, they're still going to be able to sustain that with the money they have, and they can even buy out other movie theaters that may go bankrupt, that may have to be forced to close down, and they could be the only movie theater chain in a couple of years. They could be one of the only, if not the only one, they could be one of two, one of three movie theater chains that are around in a couple of years because they have all this cash from retail investors who have helped them with their stock price. They've issued new stock, new shares, and also I just think this is something very, very exciting because they can use that money to reinvent themselves. So just something to keep an eye with AMC stock. I think this, which was just reported after trading hours, will be something people are going to like. I think we could see AMC stock price rise even more. And the key thing with the actual stock price is that if we see it close above $60 per share, well, then I think we'd be off and running into new record highs. But that's what's really going on with everything in crypto, everything in the stock market, a couple things with Tesla. But hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.